Hey, it's Linda here, and today I'm going to close my Chase United Mileage Plus Gateway credit card, and I wanted to record the conversation and show you guys how easy it is to cancel credit cards, especially with Chase. So we're gonna do this right now, and then I'm going to talk about canceling credit cards, how I've been doing it the past couple of years, some tips along the way. And so yeah, we'll call the number in the back, just like in the back of the card. So we'll do that right now. And hopefully my dog doesn't bark while I'm on the phone because he tends to do that. But he seems pretty calm right now. I actually recorded this earlier. I canceled the United Mileage Plus card, the one with a fee, earlier today, but it didn't record right. And I guess that's for the best because Keefe, our dog, was barking a lot. So let me call them up, and we're gonna press 0 right away to talk to a representative. And for some reason, I need to call a second time. It sometimes happens like that, so there was no like prompt that came out, so let's try a second time. It's supposed to be easy, but yeah, we'll do this.
This call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification. Welcome to United Credit Card Services. Para español, oprima el asterisco.
We are experiencing longer wait times to speak to a specialist. For faster service, you can continue to use the automated system, Chase.com, or the Chase mobile app. Thank you for your patience.
Please enter the last 4 digits of your credit card account number. Thanks. Just a moment while we look that up. We recently issued a new card to you. If you have received the new card and are calling to verify you have received it, press 1. Otherwise, press 2. Please enter your zip code. To access the main menu at any time, press star.
0.
Your current balance is. To help our specialist better assist you, after the tone, please speak your first and last name, followed by your mailing address.
Linda.
You have been selected to take part in a brief survey about your service experience. To provide your feedback, please remain on the line after your call. Welcome to Chase Customer Service. We take pride in providing you with excellent service and look forward to speaking with you. A customer service specialist will assist you as soon as possible. A customer service specialist will assist you in approximately 5 minutes.
Usually I don't wait this long, and usually it's pretty immediate. Earlier today when I canceled the United Explorer card, it was immediate, but maybe it's like a Friday afternoon, it's just super busy, so we will check back in a little bit.
Thank you for calling Chase. My name is Joseph. What a pleasure speaking with today.
Hello, this is Linda.
All right, Linda, can I get your last name? I see that you're calling about your United Gateway card. How may I help you today?
Yes, and you could call me Linda. And I'd like to cancel the card today, please.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're trying to close your account, Linda. May I ask why you want to close today?
Oh, I just don't have a use for it anymore, but it's been really great service though.
I completely understand. Let me start that closure process for you. Bear with me one moment.
Okay, thanks.
All right, so of course with the card you do earn those United Airlines miles that can be used for most things United and other things like gift cards and things like that. Do you want to keep the account open to keep earning miles, or do you want to go ahead and close today?
I'll close it today, thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to finalize that close. Bear with me one moment. Get the call monitored and recorded. All right, so much of the account is closed. You can cancel any recurring charges previously set up, as charges may continue to be billed until canceled by the merchant. And rewards earned will be transferred to a partner at the end of statement cycle, provided the account remains in good standing open.
Okay, yeah.
the account's been closed. Do you have any other questions for me today?
No other questions. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Thank you for choosing Chase. Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you, you too. Bye. Okay, sorry about my dog barking in the background. Hopefully I was able to catch all that. Let me bring my dog to the other room really quick. So that was how simple it is usually to close the card. I've closed the cards with Chase and American Express and Citi, and I have no issues with them. Other banks might give you issues, and those I try to steer clear from, or they might try to hassle you. I've had like Bank of America guilt trip me, and that was real. They usually are known for horrible customer service, and I vowed to never open a new account with them again. Same other ones that I steer clear of is like Barclays, because they do such a horrible job with handling like fraud charges and stuff. So those are the two banks I try to steer clear of. But with Chase and Citi, American Express, and even Capital One, I've had no problem closing the account. The most they'll probably do is try to remind you of the benefits and ask you a second time if you still would like to close it. And I just be nice the whole time and say, you know, you guys have had great service, which is the truth. But I'd like to close it at this time. And yeah, it's usually less than a 2-minute call at times. And earlier today, I closed one with an annual fee, and the annual fee posted, and I was able to call within 30 days. Usually I call right when it posts at the beginning of the month. Now it's January 2nd. So they were able to reverse any annual fee charges and close the account really quickly. And I have no problem with doing that. This particular one is significant for me because it's really the first no annual fee card I've closed in a while. I've been trying to keep my cards open for the most part if there's no annual fee to have my credit scores stay high. But I've reached a point in my life where I want to simplify and be minimalistic in my life in the things I own, which include bank accounts and credit card accounts. So I'm making more of an effort to close all accounts that I don't use except maybe one or two, just for the sake of simplicity. Now, one of the big drivers of that is a personal story I actually want to share. When I was caretaking for my dad while he was in the hospital in a coma for a couple weeks, I was helping pay the bills, and there was one Lowe's store credit card that we missed the payment on, and luckily I was able to call Lowe's or whatever the credit card company was with at that time, and the bank was at that time, and tell them the situation, and they were able to reverse the late charge. They were really nice about it, and that was an okay situation. But sometimes I think about how even though I have all these accounts open and I never carry over balance, I always pay it full and on time, full every month, and I have every intention to do that every single month. You never know when something like that might happen. And there were times where I'm embarrassed a little bit to say, as much as 20 credit cards open, because I was really into the chasing rewards, points and miles credit card trading game. And you know, what if something like that happens and somebody else has to try to scrounge through all your accounts, make sure everything is paid, and you might have little balances here and there. And even though you have the best intentions, you never know who might have to be responsible for all the things you own. So this is a part of my steps to become more minimalistic in my life. Sometimes it goes into the territory of that trend of Swedish death cleaning and stuff like that. Luckily, my dad's still here with us today, but you just never know when you might be in the hospital in a coma for weeks, and it just might all be all of a sudden. And so, for the sake of my loved ones and also myself, I want to minimize the amount of accounts I have open. Some tips I want to share with people who are thinking of closing their accounts. Now, it can affect your credit score, that's true, but it's up to your personal decision whether you want to weigh the pros and cons of having extra accounts open that you don't use, that you have to check the website every month, because maybe sometimes the auto bill pay doesn't work, or you want to check if there's any identity stolen or fraud, like checking at least every month of all those accounts. And just if that's just a hassle that you want to deal with for maybe a higher credit score, or the hassle of being in a dire worst case situation where you are in the hospital versus having that high credit score. So closing multiple credit cards at a time and accounts at a time does show up in a credit report. That's just a word of warning. If you are planning to do something like this, if you are able to help it, and if you are looking to apply for a loan, like a car loan or a home loan, that's something to look out for. My personal experience is that when I went to buy my house and apply for a loan back in 2015, I was still very much in the credit card space game. So I did close maybe about 4 or 5 accounts that same year, earlier that year. And they did put that on my credit card when I went to apply for the home loan. And it did say my score was affected by that. However, my score was already high enough that it didn't affect it that much. And I had over 760 credit score. I have over 800 now, but I had over 760 credit score that I still had the highest rate. However, it does show something, even if it's minimal. So that's just something to keep in mind, that closing maybe 1 or 2 accounts might not matter, but if you're able to help it, maybe think about not closing anything 1 or 2 years before you're applying for a big loan. But if you have a card that has annual fees, especially high annual fees, I also say just close it if you need to. Doesn't matter the time frame, because those annual fees do add up. But that's a personal decision, and just know that when you are closing an account, that can happen. I still have a lot of credit cards that I want to close. A bunch of store credit cards that I never use anymore. A bunch of cards on Chase and American Express and other places that are no fee like this, that I've just left in my wallet but I never use anymore. So I'm gonna try to figure out a plan on how I want to close that, because we do want to try to qualify for a home loan in the future, possibly. And yeah, we'll see if I want to do that after we get a new home, or before, or maybe stagger it out, or try to do it all in the same day. So I'm still working out that plan. This is the only one I'm going to close today, other than the other annual fee one. So those were the 2 that I closed today. Now, talking about annual fee cards, and you can close them even if you have the next annual fee posted. As long as you close it within 30 days, they can reverse the annual fee, and you're not responsible for that. I usually close it right at the beginning of the month, right when I see the annual fee posted. But it's as simple as calling them, going through those same steps, and then they'll say at the end, your annual fee will be refunded, or it will you will not be responsible for it. You still will be responsible for any charges you've incurred yourself on the card. So just want to make sure that those are canceled out and you paid the extra charges outside of the annual fee before you close it as well. And try not to close the card within a year if you can help it, unless it's an emergency, because the card, if you close it within a year of opening it, there is a potential to get blacklisted from the credit card company, so you can't open any more accounts with them. So I never close cards within that year. I think the only emergencies I could think of is like if you want to completely eliminate the action of getting your identity stolen, because the more accounts you have, the more cards you have, the more chances of getting your identity stolen. And it does happen. I think like it hasn't happened in the past year, but the year before, I think I've had charges incurred on there, and you have to call the fraud department. So it's unfortunate how much it happens. You just have to watch out for like all those card skimmers and everything. I tend to be the type of person who jiggles the card reader at the gas station and stuff to make sure. But yeah, just be careful of those. So there are things to watch out for as far as affecting your credit score, or if you close it too early, being blacklisted from the company. But I don't want that to deter you from never closing cards. I'm always one that's the proponent of closing, especially annual fee cards if you don't need them. I never keep an annual fee card more than a year myself, just for the rewards. And now I'm trying to get out of I'm looking to just like kind of get out of the reward game and not be drawn to that as much anymore, because it does add complexity to your life. And if you're not super organized, then you can get in trouble. I've been able to successfully keep my accounts and all my open cards in my own Excel spreadsheets, and I'm usually super diligent about it. But even with me being super diligent and super just meticulous about my finances, there were times where I missed a payment here or there because there were just so many accounts. And luckily, during those times, I catch it early, call them within 30 days, and I've always been able to reverse any late charge fees. And that's also thanks in part to them being able to see that I've always made payments on time, never late, and always paid full. So they're like, we have a record of you always paid on time. Of course we'll reverse it. But it even happens to someone like me who's super meticulous about their finances, tracking pretty much every dollar. So yeah, that's just some stuff I want to talk about. Closing credit cards, you know, it's definitely pros and cons, and I still think it's worth it and something I'm personally trying to do more in my life. So one more thing I forgot to mention is about credit history, is that I think I will probably keep my oldest no fee credit card open for the history, because that accounts for about 30% of your credit score. But I'll have to think about that because it is with Bank of America and I kind of hate them. So right now I have such a good credit score, and once I buy a new house, I don't know if I will need a high credit score, any credit score, because honestly, like, we always buy our cars in cash and everything else is in cash. So we'll see what happens to that oldest credit card, but that's just something to keep in mind, that if you do close your older credit cards, the length of history will go down, and it can affect your credit score as well. But you always have time to raise your credit score too. Just another quick example. I started when I got out of college with like a 630 credit score, and it was pretty much on the low end, and I was able to reach it to 760 within 3 years. So 630, 760, like constantly making payments. So by the time that I was qualifying to buy my first house, I got to like the highest range of the credit score. So, you know, it might take a few years, but you can always build your credit back up, even if it drops down from like closing accounts. And at least it's not dropping down from any late payments, because that's always the worst as well. And also your credit utilization will go higher naturally if you have balances open on your accounts, and if you close credit scores, if you close your credit cards, you'll have less available balance. So that's something else to look out for. Not only try to lower or zero out the balance on your card you're closing, but if you have a balance on any other card that's open, try to keep that low or cancel those out too, so your credit utilization can still stay low. Now, I've seen my credit utilization when it was higher over 30%, it dropped my score temporarily about 60 to 80 points, which is quite a lot. But within the next month, it jumped back up. So credit utilization scores are really, really quick to come back up. But yeah, so that's just some notes about credit in general, closing credit cards. But I hope this video helped you in how to close a credit card, how simple it can be, and I encourage you to close those ones that, especially if they have annual fees as well, and just in the sake of simplifying your life. But this is your personal decision, whatever you do with your cards as well. This is what I'm doing with mine, and I just wanted to share it to see if it might be helpful for people who might have questions about closing their credit card. I have more points about this. I talk about credit and credit scores sometimes on my own channel. So if you have any questions, let me know. And yeah, hopefully this was helpful. Thanks for watching. Bye.